Welcome back to the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. I'm Inquisitor Temperance Price, keeper of the Inquisition's Black Library, and this is my report on the Valentyne Heresy, an actual play podcast set in the Genesis adaptation of Warhammer 40,000's Dark Heresy RPG. This report features Game Master Tom McGee and players Ryan LaPlante as Inquisitor Lucius Valentyne, Tyler Hewitt as Attikus Viz, Del Borovic as Morgan Rolls, and Josh Halbot as Gideon Vega. My report shows that the Inquisitorial band are advancing across the planet. Valentyne took charge of the survivors and claimed weapons for his band. Morgan and Gideon drew closer on the Inquisitor's orders, and Attikus was embarrassed by his lack of Viking skills once again. Can these heroes save the king, or will they be the ones to execute him? Find out next in this episode of the Valentyne Heresy.
From the memory banks of Lizzo Lizardman. First entry. Above all else, you gotta keep it fun, and you gotta keep it interesting, because I am so fucking bored of these monkeys. So you need to make them dance for me, and in return, I'll give you life. You are riding up to a massive improvised arena built from that has kind of naturally formed of some of the wreckage of the Cloud Palace.
Made up of.
Yes. Having been pulled through one of the many warp rifts that opened and dropped onto this hell planet, the sort of a chunk of the weather control systems is kind of sputtering out, similar to a tap that has just a little bit of water left in it, just spraying the remainder of snow that it had built up in massive sort of fountains. The interior is hollow. You can hear King Frederick making his last stand against the raiders that you encountered earlier, as well as possibly some other creatures, as you know happens. Seemingly struggling also with Lizzo Lizardman, the servitor that you are all aware is Lizzo Lizardman, except for Gideon, who
I don't think Valentyne or Attikus have any idea because we didn't get to talk about it. Lizzo Lizardman's left behind. It's only Morgan.
Okay, interesting. So you're hearing nonsense being yelled from a thing, but you're also in Warp Town. So, you know, hearing nonsense yelled to the sky, kind of par for the course. The four of you having recruited Gideon, a citizen of Greybridge who has had psyker powers inflicted on him after falling through the warp. The four of you have rolled up in bikes you took off of raiders in order to try and save the king, and more importantly, I think for Valentyne, any of the remaining king's guard.
Slash equipment, 100%.
Slash equipment and gear. So that is where we are at. You pull up to the sort of large improvised arena. There are a couple of ways in. But you can think of this, again, as just kind of layers of a large cylindrical piece of the Cloud Palace's inner workings. So you can see as you drive up, there are a couple kind of hollowed out entrances that lead to kind of another wall. Beyond that wall, there's a couple of kind of broken down pieces that'll lead into the arena. So it's not like there's a straight shot directly through, but it's not... The cover situation isn't great. I'll also say you see one of the raider bikes that you were chasing has slammed into one of these walls, these exterior walls. You see a blood smear and the bike is on fire. Inside, you can hear Frederick screaming about his last stand. What do you all do?
We're driving forward.
You're driving
getting in there.
You're driving me, so I'm going where you're going,
and I'm following the Inquisitor. So
okay,
I think we'll go for the same entrance together, so that we can try to at least get in a line, and then if we've got to split up due to circumstances, we can. But trying to tackle this from different angles just sounds like very bad confusion.
Yeah, Attikus is going to remember his horse training from when he was doing very impressive feats of ridiculous strength. And ready his las pistol in one hand and have his power fist ready as well. And he's just basically closing just like all thigh muscle, just like clutching clutching the motorcycle just with his lower body like some large crab's pincer his legs.
Amazing. Okay. So to start with, let's get a driving, please, from Morgan and from Valentyne. Difficulty 3.
Okay.
Is it possible to take it slower?
No, because this is in response to the hail of las fire that greets you as you
See, now it's fine. Didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So as you come around the corner, one of the King's Guard notices new bikers entering the fray and just opens up on the entrance. So the good news is this isn't an aimed shot. There's no Morgan Rawls on the team, but it is a spray and pray. So there's a chance of getting hit by stray bolts. So driving difficulty 3. I'm going to give you both a setback for having a passenger.
Okay.
But Valentyne will also give you a boost for Attikus's horse confidence because he knows what he's doing. Is just still a guy with a giant metal arm. It really throws off your balance. I will give you both a boost for cover, given that you're coming out of everything. Also, there are bikers circling the center. I'll explain what you see in a second. This is just the immediate oh shit, laser fire, and then we'll see what happens. But there's enough chaos in there to block. Case C chaos in there to give you a bit of a screen.
There's enough pandemonium.
Yeah, there you go. Lowercase p pandemonium. Okay, I think that's it.
If we are dodging laser fire, could I pitch an additional boost for the active refractor field?
Yes.
If there's stuff being glancing. Cool.
Okay.
All right, let's see what happens.
All right. We got 5 successes and 1 threat.
Okay.
We have 2 advantage. Ooh.
Okay. Well, I know what to do with Morgan's. Morgan, you're fine. You managed
He
to
likes to drive vehicle. It's been a while, but
okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I got something for this. So you come around the corner. Inside, again, you can see that this is a large sort of circular space. Ultimately, there's a heap of metal kind of in the center. Pinned in there, you see Vernalius Venomblight's Servitor cocked at an odd angle, kind of jutting out of this pile of debris with Valentyne's power sword jammed through its chest. Atop that, in some kind of shitty Excalibur motion, is King Frederick pulling at this power sword desperately. With one hand, he's got a las pistol in the other hand, but he keeps trying to use the las pistol hand to pull the sword out. But the Servitor seems to be fighting him on releasing the blade, so holding onto the hilt and kind of doing a no. Atop this hill, there's just a pile of dead Royal Guard. There are 3 still standing with kind of las rifles up. Looking in, there are 4 unfamiliar bikers. Circling the king and the Royal Guard. You also see 3 of the familiar bikers that you've chased. One of their bikes is on fire. So there's someone just standing with the other 2. The other 2 are at the edge, basically doing the "come on, we got to get out of here" thing to their compatriots, knowing they've been chased here, or presuming they were going to be chased here by whatever the fuck blew up their boss. So
we got 7 raiders and 6 bikes.
Correct.
Great.
Yep. 7 raiders, 6 bikes, 3 guards, 1 king, 1 servitor.
Yep.
So that is the situation as you see it. Because you neither succeeded nor failed on dodging being shot, I think what that probably means is you kind of wrench the bike and you skitter around past the entrance. So you neither get hit nor
gain ground.
You're kind of, as I mentioned, there's almost 2 layers of entrance. So basically you're taking a lap. Basically. So you're out of line of fire. You can turn back around and come back, but it means that Morgan and Gideon are going to be in the heat of it for the first round. You guys will arrive on the second round. How would you spend your advantage?
Valentyne would like to use, so you can spend 2 advantage to get an additional maneuver in combat. He would like to pitch it as using his comms to reach out on the Royal Guard frequency through Eugene to just inform them hurriedly that the 2 new bikes joining the fray are friendlies.
Great.
To make sure that Morgan does not get shot at the moment she keeps. We don't want the gun to just track around and follow Morgan's bike, and also just to confirm that he's there.
Great. Okay.
So the coordinates. The two new bikes entering this combat situation are both with the Emperor's Holy Inquisition. You can confirm by these codes. This is Lucius Valentyne, formerly known as Rabute Figuerello. You heard me before, you're hearing me again now. Assistance is here. Stop shooting us.
And you just hear like, oh, thank the Emperor, of course. And this like clearly like put together but panicked guard just says like, ceasefire. I will continue fire on not them. And just go like, pew, pew, as the las guns continue to fire.
Great. Valentyne feels like that's mission accomplished. He's cranking the bike around to go back to the entrance. Apologies, Colonel. Turns out neither of us is terribly good on a bike.
And Frederick just goes, what are you doing? Shoot those bikes. Give me that fucking sword. It fires off a couple blasts. Morgan and Gideon, you've arrived into this fray. We're on round 1. Let's roll some Genesis equivalent of initiative.
Oh, nice.
So the way we do this is this will be, I believe,
traditionally it's cool or vigilance.
Yeah.
vigilance. I'm sorry. Vigilance it is.
Okay.
So we're going to roll vigilance checks. There's no difficulty on these. This is just to see who pulls in the highest.
Yeah, just for
Do you want one
establishing
from us for when we join?
order.
Yes, please.
And do you just want it from the drivers of the bikes, or do you also want it from passengers?
I need from passengers as well, because if they're going to be throwing fire or fists, I need to know when
Yeah,
that's...
that makes sense.
Okay.
I mean, probably
Oh,
more for
fuck
the
me.
range, but...
Very good.
Turn that out.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
It's all downhill from here.
Best roll of the night.
Best roll of the night.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
just-
Okay, let's get them.
Morgan has 2 successes, 1 advantage.
Valentyne is 1 success and 3 advantage.
Attikus is 3 successes, 4 advantage.
Help if he had a better driver.
And Gideon got 5 successes.
Nice.
Drivers are the slowest.
You're busy. You're
Yeah, you guys are
driving.
doing things.
Yeah.
Got shit to do.
We're just chilling back
We're
here.
busy. We're driving. Concentrating.
I'm so sorry I said anything.
You stupid.
You're doing a fucking job.
I'm driving here. What are you trying to do to me?
No.
That's it. Back to Winnipeg.
What happens when you exhaust your strain?
So strain you can recover after each encounter or combat. So once this fight is over,
Yeah.
then you can roll to recover strain. It's basically you roll a 0 difficulty discipline or cool check, and
Yeah.
per success you recover 1 strain.
And then when you go to sleep at night, it's like D&D, or I guess Pathfinder, presumably, you can just like...
But if you
Conk
run,
out.
if I get
If you
to
run
0
out, you
strain,
go
am I fucked?
sleepies.
Yeah.
You pass out.
Yeah.
Because it's like mental exertion.
Good.
And there might be additional implications as a psyker. I can't remember
No, there are
what
not
Laura
additional
said.
implications to running out of strain. You can burn additional strain to
Right,
supercharge powers and stuff, and that's
Yeah,
dangerous.
yeah. And every time you use your powers, you could blow up is
Yeah.
the main disadvantage. But
But that'll never happen.
That'll never happen. You're a good boy.
no.
There's no way.
You're a sanctioned psyker.
Yeah.
I looked at the table, and there's no way. the odds of that
Virtually
happening
impossible.
are just crazy.
This is foreshadowing.
all right.
5 minutes from now.
Okay. So top of the round is Gideon. Morgan has spun you into this. You see your king, King Frederick, who we've described as like a coked up Don Cheadle type. So circa Black Friday kind of level Don Cheadle. He is looking rough. He was also in his loungewear. So he's, in a tattered robe, deeply strung out. So like big dark rings under his eyes. But he's your king. And, you're kind of used to it at this point. He's been king for a long time. So he's in the center. He has 3 Royal Guard. The Royal Guard still elicit, I'm sure, a bit of a visceral reaction in you because they were the only enforcement and the only real power on Greybridge. Because of previous uprisings, Greybridge was held very, very, very tightly. The enforcement and kind of the policing of it were very, very strict. So it's a little bit, in like Star Wars terms, they're stormtroopers. There's like the scary fucking guys who are here to destroy things are here, but they're on your side. But
The most recent event that would have really stood out to you back on Greybridge was after a certain amount of information was given, the Royal Guard flew into a mandatory speech everyone had to attend and then dropped a bunch of traitors out of planes where they all splatted on the ground in and around the crowd.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So that kind of like, they're on my team, but
Yeah.
and the fact that there's so many dead at his feet is also bad. These are theoretically the unkillable. I mean, you don't really know anything about Space Marines, so you don't know that there's a version of this elsewhere. But there's that. You've got your bikers circling, and then you've got the bikers you chased who were like, let's get out of here. That said, you're a psyker. So before we do your turn, can you please roll me a, I guess, telepathy? Do you have a telepathy skill?
No,
or
I
you're
just have
pure pyromancy, eh?
Yeah, pyromancy. So he has attack, barrier, and curse.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, then let's just do this as a perception.
If you want to use his pyromancy skills outside of the traditional sphere, pyromancy is agility, and then he's got a pyromancy skill rank.
Yeah,
So
that's fine. This is just going with your eyes. Yep. Yeah, your squishy human eyes.
Perception?
Yeah, so perception, please. Difficulty of 4.
Oh, dear. Ooh. One success? No, one. Yeah, one success.
That is one success.
One success.
Yep, 1 success.
Nice.
Okay. So as the bike comes around the corner, you see the scene before you. You see the bikers spinning. You see the ones yelling, and you think you see something sort of almost flitter between guards. So there's Royal Guard, firing. They were firing at you. Now they're firing at the other bikers, and you just almost see a shadow flicker between 2 guards. And there's just the slightest little kind of like as it passes seemingly into the next guard.
Okay, interesting. Is it it's going between, from one guard
It's
to
like
another?
watching
or
a
just
shadow pass between 2 guards.
Interesting. And I would have no frame of reference as to.
Sadly, no.
But I do just notice it.
Yeah, it's odd. It's just an odd thing your eyes perceive.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I think I'm going to use my barrier, and I'm going to set it up on both of us.
Okay.
So it makes us. We're going to have who's that? Nick Cage played him in the movie, and he's like
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider. We're gonna have a Ghost Rider energy. I think.
I love how fast that answer came.
Yes, you guys had that.
That was so great.
Nick Cage has only been in
Josh
one
and I
movie.
hung out is all I'm saying.
yeah, Ghost Rider. Yeah.
You can ask me one of 365 movies. I'm like, oh, it's this one. Yeah, we're good.
So it creates a flame shield around normally just one target, but I can jack the difficulty, and it will make it around both of us.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
If it works. So let's see if it works. I got to take some strain. So that'll be cool. I'm starting to get a little stressed. It's fine,
Totally
right?
fine.
There's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with
okay.
that.
It's all fine.
So it's a red, and then I add a purple to it for that, and then I got a red and a perp, and then
Random question.
Yep.
Does it if you were to make it how long does it last?
until the end of the character's next turn. So at least it gives us a little buffer.
That's a whole
Does it
round.
include concentrate as in its descriptions?
I don't see concentrate anywhere.
But the very first page.
Oh shit! Yep, you're
Concentration,
right.
yes. So here's the thing: you can actually maintain it. Okay, it's just a maneuver. So you can you can essentially take as almost a form of movement. You're like, I keep it up. So you
okay.
can just concentrate on that once you've cast it the first time. You can concentrate it and maintain it as long as it's theoretically necessary.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So I just wanted you to know that
No,
because I
that's
realized
great.
that would matter.
I forgot that. Yeah, paying attention to durations might be a
Yeah, so it'd mean you couldn't aim your gun.
Yes, but
because
I
you've
can
used
just-
that, or you could spend strain to do multiple maneuvers. You
Sure.
could buy a second maneuver with strain. But
Yep. No, I like right now he's comfortable
Yeah.
gripping and thinking. gripping and thinking. Gripping and
Ripping and ripping and barrier.
You know? You know how
gripping and ripping,
Ripping.
Ghost Rider style, ghosting and coasting on this fucking bike.
Oh my God.
Rip it and rip it.
gripping and ripping.
I'm Nicolas Cage.
I'm Nicolas Cage. This is my Nicolas Cage impersonation. Grip it and rip it. That was from Adaptation.
I know exactly which of the twin brothers said that.
right.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
Yeah,
weird,
yeah.
If it's for that's my act.
Yeah, it was Alfarius.
Yeah. Okay, let's give this a shot. Oh, just 2 advantage.
Huh.
That's it.
Okay. So I think what we'll say then is you come around the corner, you see all of this, you see this shadow flicker between the two guards. You can see in your mind's eye, a Ghost Rider level of barrier of flame in front of you. And this is the first time you've actively tried, like tactically, I think, to summon the thing. So as you kind of like reach out into the warp and attempt to summon it, there's like a blast of flame, but the bike drives straight through it. Yeah. So it just kind of dissipates around you, flickering just kind of past you. Obviously, like you and Morgan don't take damage from it, but it's just a momentary like, oh shit, like there goes my, no, fuck thing. But at least you didn't trigger any horrible warp effects. So just a little stressed.
Still cool.
Just a little strained.
Trying my best.
Still good.
He's trying.
Still good.
He's trying hard.
All right. So flame wall fails, but you are still alive. So, small wins. Small wins.
We like that.
Next up, we have Attikus. Attikus, you're going for a ride. So, yeah, you guys don't show up till next round. So that's fine. Next, we have, unbelievably, we have Frederick. So Frederick is fighting the Servitor.
It's that cocaine, that space cocaine.
Yeah, let's go use that space cocaine strength.
It amps up in the warp.
Yeah.
Just like everything else.
Extra psycho.
He's just like, I'm just having a bad trip. This is fine. Oh,
he still thinks he's in his palace.
Yeah. Well, okay. This isn't far off. In trying to get the sword, he gets a despair, 2 failure, 2 threat.
Holy shit,
Whoa,
dude.
bad day for him.
Some heretics execute themselves.
For everything else, there's Valentyne. Yeah. So he goes to pull the sword. And the guard who received the sort of flickering image that Gideon saw just turns and levels the gun against him. He says, "No, out there, you idiot!" And the guard shoots him in the stomach. So he doubles over, screaming, holding his stomach, dropping the gun and the sword, looking incredulous, as the guard turns the gun up on himself and blows his head off.
So much for the commendation he was going to get.
No, you can do those post-mortems.
Oh, that's true. I have done that before.
Wow, what a tremendously shit roll
That's
for a king. So with that down, Morgan.
I mean, Morgan's rushing in here, seeing what's going on, then sees the shit going on with the guards. They're obviously not going to be helpful to us. And Valentyne and Attikus still haven't shown up. She has the new boy and she has a sniper rifle. It's not going to help them to stop. So I think she's just going all the way around in a circle, trying to stay ahead of and away from all of the other people in the room.
Okay. Are you going, if they're going clockwise, are you going counterclockwise in a cool rollerball situation, or are you trying to go with them?
How are they all in a group together, or are they're staggered?
So yeah, they're staggered. Yeah. The idea is kind of like, it's an intimidation circle that they're slowly closing in, so they're spaced out a bit. So you can go against them and try and kind of weave through, and then you're doing almost a jousting in a circle thing where it's like you're going counterclockwise. So if you get hit, it's really bad, but it's harder to hit you. Or you can try and stay level with them, and it's easier to get hit, but at least you're not.
Do you join the circus act or fight the circus act?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it feels safer to join the circus act and just try and go around with them.
Okay. So
but that way stay harder to shoot.
Yeah, let's get a driving, please, then. So I'm going to say difficulty of 3, just because they're like weaving in and out and doing all sorts of nonsense. You get a boost because you're not trying to attack or anything. You're literally just holding
time for
you're just fucking with pace. It's like they speed up, you speed up. You slow down, you slow down. So that's fine. You get a setback for having a passenger. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. I think I'm gonna spend a story point on this one.
Sure. Yeah. Nice. It's a wise decision.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely because the moment we got in here, it's almost like there was a plan, and then the plan is quickly going to shit, as Morgan thinks. Might have been good to wait and approach cautiously, but now we're in the shit, so
that's what the Emperor wanted.
But in that case, it's just like very concentrating on this driving. Like there's no thought of I can hurt these people or whatever. It's like we just have to stay out of danger until the cavalry arrives.
Sure.
Okay, 2 successes, 1 threat.
Okay. Yeah.
Close burger.
Yeah. So, there's a couple of tight moments where they managed to bump up against you, but you managed to kind of like weave the bike and pull forward.
And I think at one point she's like, Vega, lean. And then they like lean the same.
Oh,
nice.
I can picture it. That's so cool.
Yeah. Love it.
It's like Cool Running.
It's exactly like the bobsled
It is
team.
exactly like that.
Yeah. All right. Good round, Morgan. That brings us to the guards. So they both turn, see the king get shot. Well, they hear the king get shot. They turn. Guard shoots himself. They still shoot the body once or twice because what the fuck? And the shadow moves again. Oh, the shadow doesn't move yet. I wonder if they can see the shadow. Let's see. They're not psychers, so the odds of this are very low, but why not try?
They don't have special psyker
You will
powers.
believe a guard can fly. Oh, hell no. Oh, no. 3 failure and 1 advantage. So they... they drop, one of them drops their gun and runs to the king. The other one moves in close to kind of almost stand over both of them. But at this point, there's a real, like, what the fuck is happening? Sort of a classic, in any movie where there's like looking around, looking up, looking side to side. Meanwhile, the bikers are very confused. And also Morgan and Gideon are driving around now. Even though the flame wall didn't work, they saw a blast of flames. So like there's... The circus thing is apt. Okay, so that's them. Yeah, now the shadow moves. And I got to roll. I'm not used to rolling this many dice.
Yeah.
I didn't used to have
Look at all
to do
these people
this
you got.
much at all. Okay. Morgan, you get bumped by a bike and it wobbles a bit. You guys lean, you kind of like pull around a corner. And then suddenly you see the biker behind you just kind of sit up and ram directly into a wall where the bike just tosses him. He splatters and the bike explodes.
Okay.
Cool. Valentyne and Attikus, you arrive.
Time to drive in. Just taking it like a little slower, a little more cautiously. He's got this entrance. It's way more about expending violence effectively than it is going fast. Valentyne does not have any driving skill other than the basics that he would have learned in his commissariat training, which is he's ready to drive a chimera. You kick go, you kick stop, and there's left and right. Like he's driven
the left
things.
and right go real slow.
But the Astra Militarum do not have motorcycles built by shitty raiders on a world.
Yeah.
So he's just doing his best to like straight line it in, cause mayhem. He's ready to ditch this bike the moment it's a problem and just go on foot and shoot bikers or take a shot at him with a machete. So
Yes.
All right, so you drive in, you see what I've just described. I think you probably arrive as everything's kind of happening concurrently. You probably arrive at the time the bike hits the wall and explodes. At the center of the pile, there's the servitor with the hilt sticking out. I don't think you'd recognize the hilt of your sword at distance, but you sure do recognize the woman standing over it, arms out, going ta-da, and gesturing at the sword.
I really hate this lady. Just to track continuity, is that a visual everyone can see now?
You guys can because you're looking. They're in.
Okay. I just want to track
hero mode.
how often she can be seen by everybody. Is it every time Valentyne sees her, we can potentially see her if we're looking?
If she isn't in the being seen mood, then that's when it's like just hearing a voice and a little bit of mist. But when anytime she's presenting herself physically to Valentyne, everyone can see her.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
okay. Doesn't change anything. Can't get on the pile right now. We got stuff to do. So I think it's just not even merging with traffic. Fine staying on the outside of the ring and just kind of matching the ring at a slower pace. But he just wants to get Attikus and himself in enough close that it's like driving it, one hand out, just opening fire at any like bike that's going past.
Okay, so we'll say that that's kind of your maneuver in, and then Attikus, you have higher initiative, so we'll let you take a swing before
Super. That makes sense.
Valentyne opens up. So I know it pains you to do this, but it might be time to punch. Might have to throw some punch.
If
you say so. So we are pulled up beside
Driving
raider?
slowly. I mean, the way I envision this is, based on your description, Ryan, is like Valentyne creakily, like
it's still going.
Yeah,
but yeah, like
pulls in, but also is aware that the movable object of Attikus, arm out, is murdery enough to not.
I do have an offer as well of like Attikus can dismount and then just be in the roadway of everyone driving around.
we didn't discuss it, and I can't stop you from getting off a bike, so that's entirely up to Attikus.
I mean, he could be like, I'm hopping off, sir, and you can be like, no, stay on, I need you here.
Oh, yeah, that's true, but instead Valentyne says, understood.
Okay, yeah. Then just with like the slowing down of like trying to like wheel around, make a wide turn, Attikus just uses the momentum, like his feet hit the ground, he just kind of slides to a stop, kind of in the middle of everything. He's got his las pistol, but he's not really counting on it. He's going to use it mainly to direct traffic of like, I'm shooting to the left, don't go to the left. Yeah, come here. And with his power fist, he's going to attempt to just slam it into a motorcycle that gets too close.
All right, go for it.
What difficulty are we looking for?
Well, it's a melee attack, so 2.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I will give you a setback for fast-moving target kind of coming at you, but I'll give you a boost for corralling them with the las pistol.
Oh, thank you.
So the defense is 2, so that's 2 setback.
I have breach 2.
That gets dealt with like Pierce for us.
Right. Okay, so forget that. 2 setbacks then.
I think that's it.
Defense 2, 2 setbacks. Got it.
And you know what? Sorry, I'll give you an additional boost for the distraction of the bikers have been very focused on Gideon and Morgan, and then just watch one of their friends blow up. So they're not paying full attention. This is a bit of a like, huh? Moment, because now suddenly there's just a man standing there.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take a swing. Hey, all right. 4 successes, 1 advantage.
Nice.
Okay, how much damage does that do, Tyler?
4 successes plus damage, right? So then that's 21 damage. Yeah.
Pierce 4.
Pierce 4. Sunder. Knock down.
I mean, he's down. I'll tell you.
Okay.
He is knocked down.
Okay.
Dead.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I think then it's just kind of, again, like the corralling, and just like you can even see like the hand like kind of like wavering back and forth just to like calculate where is he going to be. And then it's just whack-a-mole of like the front of the motorcycle, just fucking King Kong it. I just smash my fist into the ground. My feet leave the floor as it's just all the forward force of my fist smashing down the front of the motorcycle. It's like the guy who crashed and went flying and splattered, but this time it just happened because I brought the hammer down.
Because you did it.
Yeah.
No notes on my end. Just Raider goes flying, crashes into the wall.
Yeah.
Brutally, and is down.
Attikus has like a specifically like targeted distaste and disdain for these people who in his eyes are humans cosplaying as orcs, which makes them the worst fucking heretics ever. Like, oh, your patchwork armor and your little rinky-dink vehicles? Like, no, sir. I'm smashing you to pieces.
Yeah. You're lucky Marnie isn't here to ask, are you an orc? Because he'd be like, yeah, kind of.
I'd answer for her, yeah.
I've killed orcs smaller than you.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. So, yeah, Attikus stands defiant. Wicked. Okay. So that brings us to Valentyne. We'll get to you in initiative order now. Top of the round. Gideon, you're on the bike with Morgan in like basically like in
doing
orbit.
The loop.
Doing the loop. You can see the shadows start to take a bit of a form. There's over top of the guard who shot himself. You can just see kind of a shape starting to coalesce slightly, just again out of the corner of your eye. Seems to have almost a beak and almost an avian shape to it. Can you roll me a... What do we get? It's not fully formed. You don't need to roll fear yet. It's just a concerning thing. That said, you do have the bikers with you. So 2 of the 4 riding bikers are dead. And then there's the 2 that are now just leaving. They've just mounted their bikes and are going. There's no reason for them to stay after. They showed up to be like, run away, scary people coming. And everyone's like, whatever, look at this guy. And they're like, you should have listened.
The smart
We'll have
raider.
a stern talking to later. Wog, let's go. So they're mounting up to leave. What do you do?
Are there how many left?
So there are 2 that are actively combatants that are kind of in your orbit on bikes. And then there are 2 that are turning tail to run.
Okay. So with one of the active combatants, I think he's getting a little sheepish now that the psyker power didn't work last time. So he's less confident in that. So I think he's going to reach back in a little compartment that he had it in and pull out his plasma gun and unfurl it, and he's going to try and acquaint himself with that.
Amazing.
Because I feel like he took some kind of fancy boy.
Some target shooting.
Yeah,
or
marksmanship.
something.
or something
Look at
like
Ball
that.
song was
Skeet
all
shooting.
skeet shooting.
Right.
That was the whole thing.
And of course, he did it on a motorcycle, so that just stands to reason.
Yeah. Turns out you're actually very good at driving. You're just too scared to.
It's just too
What was it? What was the name of your shooting instructor?
Oh God, what was his name? Reggie. With Reginald, but I think we called him Reggie. Yeah.
Reggie.
He's so casual. He's like, all right, everyone pick up your pistols. Reggie.
Everyone knows the exact sigh that was made a lot during shooting, quote unquote, practice.
Well, I'm sure this
respect for
plasma
Reggie.
pistol will work the same way.
A lot
here.
of people getting painted holding a rifle they've never fired.
Yeah, exactly. They're holding it the wrong way.
Reggie, why is my gun so hot? Oh, put it down. Just put it down.
So I'm gonna say this is range band 2. This is fucking wild because it's like you're now circling. It's like you're on opposite sides of a circle. So it's literally just reaching out across and just locking eyes with a guy driving the motorcycle on the other side. So yeah, range band 2. I'm gonna give you a setback for the amount of stuff in the way, including your king. So it's still a hard shot to make. I'll give you, I guess, a boost for Morgan having successfully rolled the driving check, so keeping it steady.
Nice.
I think that's it, unless your pistol has magical bullshit on it that I'm unaware of, which it might.
He's sure.
It's a full plasma gun. This is the rifle version.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a rifle.
It's a rifle.
This
Yeah,
is-
so
yeah.
he's
Oh, I
got
thought it was
it
a
out.
pistol.
He's fucking honking
Oh,
off with it.
boy.
Honking off.
Zero shit's given.
He's unfurling. What do I
That
put
is-
for difficulty?
2.
2. Okay. So
I'm gonna spend a story point because I'm scared. I don't like
So
it.
you select one of the purples.
Yeah.
You're going to
Turn it into a red.
Remove selected.
Okay.
And add a red.
Oh, there we go.
He's upgraded it with a story point.
La-ti-da.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So you haven't done any other maneuvers this turn.
Yeah.
Which means you could aim to give yourself an additional boost.
Yes.
for
Oh,
aiming.
okay. Sure.
So you get that for freebie just as a
Oh,
maneuver.
yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
you
do-
remember Reggie being like, you can always,
you can always
spend your
aim.
maneuver to aim. It's like the Metal Gear, like, don't forget the basics of CQC.
That's right.
Press triangle.
Has there been a roll since Attikus's punch?
There's not.
Do you want a boost?
I'll take a boost.
No, don't upgrade that one. Just add a blue one.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yep.
There you
Okay.
go. Yep.
Yep, so you get a blue one for aiming. You get a blue one from Attikus.
Yep.
And a blue one from the driving.
Yep. So 3 blues.
All right.
Okay. There's a lot of dice.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I don't fuck this up. Yeah. So, and I like to think that like as this is happening, he's very fancy about this too. Like this little shitty training is coming back in. So there's nothing cool about this. It looks like a lady riding like side saddle and like trying to shoot a bow.
But perfect form.
Yeah,
I'm
but
assuming.
yeah, like,
Yeah,
As we
usually,
just
yeah.
watch all the plasma coils heat up.
Yeah.
There's a hideous charging.
Oh.
You can feel the heat on your
Yeah.
back, Morgan,
I'm
as
like,
this
maybe he's
gun
doing
goes
fire
Yeah.
again.
And meanwhile, you're just like readjusting the stock. You're like, it's not quite. How did he? No, he said
Oh.
10 and 2.
Into the
I was gonna say,
shoulder.
what mantra that Reggie taught you do you say just before you fire?
I wish Reggie was here.
Realistically, he might be. We'll see.
Yeah, there's Reggie's falling from the sky. Yeah. Oh shit, not Reggie.
Reggie shot the king in himself.
Yeah. Yeah, Reggie lands on the king.
Oh God.
Let's try.
The Eddie of Earthworm Jim.
I got 4 successes and 3 advantage.
Okay. How much
Reggie's with
damage
you.
does it do?
Reggie's with you.
I don't know how to calculate this.
Whatever the damage says,
it
plus
does
4.
12 damage.
Plus 4 successes,
It's got
yeah.
Pierce 5
So there's 16 damage with Pierce 5.
and Vicious 2.
What's the crit?
Crit 2.
And how many advantages
We
you get?
don't need
4.
it.
3.
Oh.
We don't need it.
Oh, okay. You just
yeah.
pass it forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the gun bucks in a much it's like a cannon going off.
Morgan's driving the motorcycle, the back
It's like-
tire
Yeah,
comes out,
exactly.
adjusts again.
I didn't tell you to lean.
The driver and bike across from you are just like obliterated by a green blast, just kind of from the center out, eaten away by plasma energy. So just like some bits of skull and arm and bottoms of bike kind of stumble and collapse around as it's just thrown, like as what is left is thrown against a wall and continues to kind of slowly be eaten away by plasma. You just hear the one remaining biker go shit as this happens. With all of that in mind, the remaining biker is seeing his friends drive away and is like, "Yup," and goes to attempt to follow them. But there is a Valentyne and a Morgan who go before that. Morgan, you're still driving.
Yep.
So let's get a driving check from you to see if that I didn't say lean moment causes you guys to bail.
Okay. Difficulty.
I'm gonna say difficulty 2.
Okay.
But there's a fuck ton of advantage you can take from from Josh's
many was
roll.
it?
3.
3. So I'll take. Oh, do I get all 3 of those? Because the next roll after, or
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or-
Add 1.
Yeah,
I
add
know
1
it's
boost
2
to an ally's next check.
Yeah.
Yep,
And you're the
this would be
next
it.
one up.
Giving
So
them
you
an
get
You give a
Okay.
narrative reason, which we have.
that makes sense.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
so you get those. I'm also going to give you a boost for you've got to like you're not weaving through things. It's literally just
Things
I'm in a
there's less
pattern.
things now.
That's it. Yep. I want to stay in the pattern.
All right. So I'm just gonna roll this as is. 6 successes.
Wow,
God
very
damn,
nice.
you're good at
Sick.
driving.
She's good at
Sick.
It's all coming back to her. It's been a while for
Yep.
Morgan, but as she's driving, she's just going to keep driving around, seeing Valentyne there, and basically drive around to pull up next to him because cover behind his bike, perhaps, or something. But as she does that, she'll look back at Gideon and just, nice work. Now that is your first 2 kills.
And he's like shaking, I think, and it's hot, so he's like holding. So, and he gives you a thumbs up. I'm like,
Great.
Yep.
So we'll just like drive all the way back around and pull up next to Valentyne because it seems like all the combatants are gone.
I was going to say,
There's one guy trying to get away.
I know
yeah.
what Valentine's doing, though.
Yeah.
You pull up next to Valentyne, think you are pulling up next to Valentyne, only for him to not be there anymore. Because Valentyne sees this goddamn beak coming out of space.
So far. Oh, it's starting to show up. Yeah.
Valentyne,
Go for
because
it.
his perception's through the roof.
Yep.
But he sees some shit going on there. And the one thing he knows is none of the weapons have worked on the demon so far, which means that sword is the only thing he's pretty confident in between the disruption field, the power, the sanctification of a power sword. That's there. So he's taken a hard right. He wants to, there's going to be no action. He's going to burn strain to get a second maneuver out of this turn, and he just wants to drive the bike, get off it, book it up, and pull the sword, just so that if a demon steps into reality, refractor field Inquisitor with a power sword is there.
Great. So you rush up. The servitor turns and looks at you, and still clutching the blade, says, "Are you Valentyne?"
Yes, I am.
He left me this message. And over the comms, you just hear Eli's voice come in and say,
Wherever you are, sir, I'll find you. Here you go.
Oh, that's our Eli.
And the servitor releases the hands around the blade. You draw it forth again, just like fucking pure Excalibur shit. And the woman just smiles as you do so, turning to face the beaked creature. Just says, "See, Lucius, don't worry. Be happy."
This episode of the Valentyne Heresy features the voices of players Ryan LaPlante, Tyler Hewitt, Josh Halbot, and Del Borovic, alongside Game Master Tom McGee. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and the Valentyne Heresy's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC.com. Our theme song is The Hordes by Megan McDuffie, and our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR. All of their music is available at freemusicarchive.org. For all things Dum-Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Ave Imperator, and death to all the heretics.
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Nithrian, Garbo Ape, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia de los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Dragonfly, The Body Barrelers, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, The Gata Family, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Dan the Welshman, Afflicto Gaming, Aiden, Beef Not Cheese, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.